What's up guys, Spin Firearms here, and today we're going to be talking about a handgun that not a lot of people know that I really enjoy carrying. I talk a lot about the Glock 26, I talk a lot about the Hellcat, the MP40C, the 357 SIG, Shield that I have, stuff like that. They always know me for those handguns. But one of the handguns that I carry often and gotten a lot of use out of in the last year is actually the Walther PPS M2. We're going to basically go into detail on what features it has, what I like about it, what I don't like about it, how it's held up over a year, how the round count has done, and so on. But before we get started, hit the like button, drop a comment down below, and subscribe. Tell me your thoughts on the Walther PPS M2. Do you like it? Is it outdated? Whatever the case may be, drop in the comments. It doesn't hurt. It only helps this channel. Thanks, guys. Let's get into it. The Walther PPS M2. I bought this almost exactly a year ago. Since then, this thing has over 1,500 rounds through it. Not a single issue. It's ran every hollow point that I run. And out of these small firearms, I tend to carry Civil Liberty Defense rounds and Underwood Extreme Defender rounds. Those are my two go-to rounds. That's exactly what I carry in the Walther PPS M2. Now, the Law Enforcement Edition comes with 3 magazine options. A 6-round flush mag, a 7-rounder, which is what I have here, and an 8-rounder. One of the biggest complaints I have about this handgun is the overall texturing on that grip. The texturing is absolutely terrible on the Walther PPS M2. Now, the ergonomics are different. The ergonomics are on point. This thing fits my hand like a glove, and that's one of the things I love about it. Absolutely love it. But the texturing is terrible. There is no friction. There is no grip. There is nothing. So that's an easy fix. It's a $20 fix with a pair of grips. As you can see, I did them wrong. I put the finger flaps on top. Should have put them underneath, but you live and you learn, right? Ergonomics on point. That 8-round mag feels really good in the hand too. But you can also get mag guts. So I rarely carry it with the 7-round setup. I carry it with the flush mag because I use mag guts, making it a 7+1 setup with that super tiny magazine in there. As you can see, it's very thin. It's a little bit thicker than the Glock 43. Now, when it comes down to single stacks, this is definitely up there in the best single stacks on the market. And what's nice is everyone ran away from single stacks. Everyone ran away from, stuff that's lower capacity, allowing these companies to drop them for super low prices. You can get the LE edition $350, $375 that comes with 3 mags, and it's just a great setup. Now, the sights it comes with in the LE edition, they do glow in the dark, but they are not tritium. They are phosphorus. So basically, if they're sitting in light like they are now, they'll charge and they'll turn into glowing sights. But if you're carrying all day and it's tucked under a shirt or in a pocket, they will not glow. Now, I've gotten a lot of use out of this pocket carry. I pocket carried at work for about a month and a half. And I also carry it inside the waistband often. I've even carried it as a backup pistol over the last year. It's just been a great handgun for me, and I've really enjoyed it. Takes down like a Glock. It doesn't come with any memory pads, but I just threw a little tiny piece of grip that I had left over from something right there, and that does just fine for me. Like I said, the sights I am swapping out. I actually just ordered some tritium sights for it, so I'm very excited about that. Ergonomics on point. A decent sized trigger guard. If you live somewhere that gets cold like I do, you want to be able to get a gloved finger in there, so I'm always big about trigger guards, and this leaves plenty of room. So my Magpul gloves will fit just fine in there. Now let's talk about finish. The finish has gotten a little worn on this thing, but it's also taken a lot of abuse. So you can't expect much more. I've had 0 rusting issues, 0 problems. I do have a couple areas where it's down to the stainless steel, but not a single issue. That's just part of carry. Your firearm's going to get beat up, it's going to get gunked up, it's going to get destroyed. But that's just part of carry, and plus it adds a little bit of character to it. But as you can see, just from holster wear, this thing has gotten a lot of different holster time in a lot of different holsters, and it's actually held up really well. On top looks really nice. It's more just on the squared off edges and up front where it clicks in for retention and is rubbing against the rest of your holster when you go to holster it. And because you're not just putting it straight in, your tip of your firearm hits on the sides in order to be guided straight in. Nobody can directly just slam it in perfectly, so it's going to get a little bit of rubbing and a little bit of finish coming off. But other than that, it looks really nice. I mean, if you guys have seen my FN 503, that thing looks pretty beat up, but once again, no rust issues. That's the biggest thing. I'm fine with this whole finish coming off. Just don't rust on me, especially if I'm going to carry you in the pocket. Now, one of the best selling points for this firearm is that trigger. Now, the firearm is clear and unloaded, but check out this trigger. For a single stack and for something that people are going to carry in their pocket, this has a really nice trigger. Super crisp, super clean. Now the reset's a little longer, but that's not a big deal because it's not absolutely terrible. It's not like the Ruger LC9, the original hammer-fired version. It's actually decent. And then one thing I really like about this handgun is when you are holstering, right? If that trigger starts to get pulled, when you holster, I go like this. So I put my thumb on the back of it, and I just slide it into my holster. But if something gets caught on this trigger, you're going to feel this little knob pop out. And you can also just pull it out and be like, whoa, okay, let's reholster, focus again. Because majority of negligent discharges or accidental discharges are when people are holstering. So that's actually a really nice safety feature. Doesn't affect anything. It's there. Doesn't cause problems. Doesn't cause issues. But it's just a little extra safety on there just for holstering. And I actually really like that. So that's a great thing. But like I said, that trigger, really nice. Also, this does not use the paddle release like the original PPS M1 does. This just uses a regular mag release. And I like that they extended this trigger guard to come out. Therefore, when you're shooting, this finger won't come up and accidentally eject your mag. That's absolutely genius by Walther. It's a great idea. Keeps that finger away from your mag release. That's awesome. So, very smart. Love the way they did it. And also, the look of this firearm is on point. I think it's a very nice looking handgun. It's very sharp looking. All the controls work great. I mean, this thing functions flawlessly. Racking the slide, just listen. You can tell just by listening that this thing is like butter. This thing is like butter on glass. I mean, this thing just, it's smooth as can be. And so that's absolutely great. Barrel wear is very minimal. I think it's because of part of the design, but it's very minimal, or you can't see. There's a little bit of wear down in here on that lip, but not a big deal. Once again, it's just part of wear and tear. Overall, this handgun has held up. It's lasted. It's ran everything I've wanted it to run. So I cannot complain at all. I'd rather have 7+1 or 8+1 of something that's going to run every time I need it to, over 15+1 of something that's not going to run every time I need it to go bang. So, absolutely love this thing. Not a fan of this side of the handgun, the way it looks. They have all their import stamps and stuff like that. Not the biggest fan of it, but when you flip back over, they left this side clean at least for a nice look. And I do think looks play a role in everyday carry, because the more you're into your handgun, the more you love it, the more you show it off, the more you're going to want to shoot it at the range, the more you're going to want to get better with it, and the more proficient you'll end up being when it comes down to defending yourself and others. So I think it's a great thing to be fully invested in that firearm. Like I said, it takes down like a Glock. Looking for sights, so easy. Second I Googled it, found a bunch of different makers, so very easy to get new sights for it. Those are on the way. I forgot which brand I got. I forgot if I went with XS or Meeprolite. You guys will see in future videos. But overall, love this thing. Not one complaint. I don't care what people say about single stacks or anything like that. I carry based off where I'm going and what I'm doing. If I'm going to a crowded mall, I'm carrying 15 rounds of my Glock 26. If I'm going on a jog or a walk with the kids, I'm carrying something light, comfortable, that still is very manageable. And that's one of the things about the Walther PPS. It is so manageable. Not only do all the controls work flawlessly, everything runs like butter, it's smooth as can be, but on top of that, this handgun handles recoil like a full size. You can say what you want right now. I know I'm going to have some comments about this, but ask any Walther PPS M2 owner. This handles recoil like an absolute champ, and I'm guessing that has to do with a lot with this guide rod up here that's running like butter. I mean, this thing is about as smooth as a pistol can get. It's probably one of the best shooting single stacks out there. I think the XDS in 45 shoots a little bit better than this, but this is a great handgun. The one thing I really want to get is a Walther PPS M1 in 40. I cannot get my hands on it. I love 40, and I know this thing right here would be a true pocket rocket, the way this thing handles recoil. If I had this thing in 40 with a similar capacity, I'm carrying this thing all day long. The Walther PPS M2 is a great handgun, and what I'd want to say is take advantage. You know, Walther's going to be coming out with their Micro 9 soon. They're stacking a half Micro 9. There is going to be no more PPS's M2 being made after that, is what I'm guessing. So take advantage of the cheap prices right now. It's a great handgun, and shoot, if you don't carry it every day, throw it in a tackle box, throw it in a backpack, give it to the wife, whatever. You know, it's a great, reliable handgun that I would trust any of my family members' lives with, and that says a lot. So the Walther PPS M2 is a certified, reliable handgun. It's been reliable. It's been tested throughout the years. It's an awesome handgun. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.